September 22, 2010. A single Facebook post sends a chilling message to the world. Jumping off the GW bridge. Sorry. In just 12 words, an 18-year-old's agony became an irreversible reality. But what led to this heartbreaking decision? What kind of torment drives someone to that edge? This is the story of Tyler Clementi. Tyler Clementi was born on December 19, 1991, in Ridgewood, New Jersey. From an early age, he was different, not in a way that made him stand out, but in a way that made him special. A quiet, introspective boy with an exceptional gift for music, the violin was his voice when words failed him. His bow danced across the strings with the kind of emotion that made listeners stop and hold their breath. Music was his sanctuary, the one place where he felt truly himself. But outside of music, Tyler carried a secret that weighed on him like an anchor. He was gay. Growing up in a deeply religious evangelical Christian household, Tyler knew that revealing this part of himself could change everything. He had heard the hushed conversations, the sermons that equated queerness with sin, the discomfort that lingered in the air whenever LGBTQ+ issues were brought up. So, he kept quiet for years, until the summer of 2010, when he finally found the courage to come out to his family. His mother, Jane, loved him dearly, but her faith, her beliefs, had conditioned her to see his identity as something that needed fixing. Instead of celebration, there was silence. Instead of open arms, there was hesitation. She later admitted that she initially struggled with his revelation, though she would come to regret those moments of uncertainty for the rest of her life. Despite the lukewarm response, Tyler was ready for a fresh start. College offered him that chance, a new beginning, new people, a space where he could finally be open, where he wouldn't have to hide. Rutgers University, fall 2010, the start of a new chapter. Or so he thought. Darun Ravi wasn't someone Tyler had chosen as a roommate. It was a random assignment like most college pairings. But what Tyler didn't know was that Ravi was about to turn his life into a nightmare. Ravi was different from Tyler in almost every way. Outgoing, cocky, tech-savvy, and, as some would later describe, deeply insecure about his own masculinity. He thrived on attention, on being the center of jokes, the one who could turn anything into entertainment, even another person's private life. On September 19th, Tyler asked Ravi for some privacy. He had invited someone over, MB, an older man he had recently started seeing. It was a simple request, something any roommate would understand. Ravi agreed. But instead of leaving it at that, he saw an opportunity for amusement. Along with his friend Molly Way, Ravi secretly turned on his webcam from his dorm across the hall. They watched. They laughed. And then Ravi posted on Twitter, "Roommate asked for the room till midnight. I turned on my webcam, saw him making out with a dude." A simple tweet. Just a few words. But those words set in motion a series of events that would destroy a life. Tyler discovered what had happened shortly after. At first, he was confused, then horrified. He searched through Ravi's Twitter feed, finding more details. Ravi had even invited people to watch a viewing party for the next time Tyler had a guest over. Imagine discovering that your most private moments had been turned into entertainment, that your dignity, your trust, your sense of safety had been shattered by someone you were supposed to live with. Psychologists call this involuntary outing, and it's one of the most severe violations of privacy an LGBTQ+ person can endure. Dr. Caitlin Ryan, a researcher on LGBTQ+ mental health, explains, "For queer youth, especially those just coming into their identity, forced exposure can be devastating. It strips away their control, making them feel helpless, ashamed, and alone." That was exactly how Tyler felt. He reported the incident to Rutgers, seeking a new living arrangement. But bureaucracy is slow, and Tyler was left waiting, alone. His mind spiraled. His once hopeful college experience now felt like a cruel joke. The humiliation, the fear, the shame, it consumed him. A study by the Trevor Project shows that LGBTQ+ youth are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than their straight peers. But when cyberbullying and public humiliation are added to the equation, the risk skyrockets. No one knew just how dark Tyler's thoughts had become. September 22nd, 2010. At 6:30 p.m., Tyler posted one last message on a forum for LGBTQ+ youth, detailing what had happened. "What do I do?" he asked. Some users responded with advice, others with support, but the pain was too great. At 8:42 p.m., he posted his final words on Facebook, jumping off the GW bridge, sorry. Did he hesitate? Did he hope someone would call? Did he want to be saved? The world will never know. At 9:22 p.m., a witness saw a figure standing on the edge of the George Washington Bridge. Within minutes, he was gone. Tyler's body was recovered a week later from the Hudson River. His family was devastated. Their private grief became a national conversation. Darun Ravi was charged with multiple crimes, including invasion of privacy and bias intimidation. But despite the overwhelming evidence, he was sentenced to just 30 days in jail. He served only 20. Out of tragedy, a movement was born. The Tyler Clementi Foundation now works tirelessly to combat cyberbullying and advocate for LGBTQ+ youth. Laws were changed, conversations were sparked, and schools across the country began to implement anti-bullying policies. But the question remains, how many more lives must be lost before we take bullying seriously? Before we recognize that words, tweets, posts, laughter at another's expense can be weapons? If you see bullying, don't be a bystander. Be an upstander. Speak up. Reach out. You never know whose life you might save. Tyler Clementi's story didn't have to end this way, but together, we can make sure it never happens again.